Patrick Swayze was a really talented actor who made everyone watching feel things with every word he said. You could see how easily he amazed people who watched him with his skills, and he was also an amazing dancer. Patrick was more than just a good-looking movie star or just another regular leading man. He wanted to make his mark in history, and he did. A mark of true strength and fiery love for acting, he made his audience feel emotions every single time. This is why it makes sense that his last words reminded the world how sad it was to lose such a great man. Let's look at Patrick Swayze's life story from the beginning until his last moments and how his final words touched fans all around the world. Patrick was born on August 18, 1952 in Houston, Texas to Patsy Swayze and Jesse Wayne Swayze. He was the second kid in the family with an older sister named Vicky and two younger brothers named Don and Sean. Later, his parents adopted a younger sister named Bambi. Patrick's father worked as a chemical plant engineering draftsman, and his mother was a dancer, choreographer, and dance teacher. He grew up in the Oak Forest neighborhood of Houston and lived there for about 20 years. He went to St. Rose of Lima Catholic School, Oak Forest Elementary School, Black Middle School, and Waltrip High School. As a boy, Patrick joined many activities, both artistic and athletic. He enjoyed ice skating, classical ballet, gymnastics, swimming, and acting in school plays. In high school, he also played football and hoped to get a football scholarship for college, but a knee injury ended that dream. He studied gymnastics at San Jacinto College in Houston, Texas. During this time, he also learned martial arts, including wushu, taekwondo, and aikido. Even though his football injury had ended his sports plans, Patrick kept dancing. He had grown to love dance and learned a lot from his mother. In 1972, he moved to New York City to study at the Harkness Ballet and Joffrey Ballet Schools so he could get better at dancing. Patrick's first professional dance show in New York was for the Disney on Parade event put on by the Disney Theatrical Group. After that, he moved from dancing to acting. His first acting job was as a replacement in the Broadway show Grease, where he played the character Danny Zuko. In mid-June of 1975, Patrick married Lisa Nemi. They had met in 1970 when Patrick was 18 years old and Lisa was 14, taking dance lessons from his mother. 4 years later, in 1979, Patrick made his first movie as Ace in Skatown, USA. He also played Private Sturgis in the M*A*S*S*H episode Blood Brothers in 1981. That same year, he appeared in the movie Return of the Rebels with Barbara Eden. 2 years later, he had a small role in the short television series The Renegades, playing Bandit, a gang leader. This slow rise in acting looked like the beginning of great things, but something terrible happened, which at the time made it hard for young Patrick to fully enjoy this rise to fame. Patrick's father died in the early 1980s, and Patrick was just in his early 30s, only a few years into his marriage. It was clear that losing one of the most important people in his life hurt him deeply, and it became even more obvious how deep the pain was when he began drinking a lot. But surprisingly, this did not slow down his career growth. Perhaps you might say that Patrick's humble attitude played a big role in keeping his career steady, as he understood that he was just starting to grow and was quick to take many small roles on television. This showed the important people in Hollywood that he had more than talent to become a major star. His first big break came when he was chosen to play the older brother of actors C. Thomas Howell and Rob Lowe in the film The Outsiders, released in the early 1980s. After that role, Patrick became more recognized by top people in Hollywood. He went on to play a Marine Corps trainer in the Vietnam rescue film Uncommon Valor alongside Gene Hackman. In the mid-1980s, 3 of his co-stars from The Outsiders joined him in the film Red Dawn, which also featured Jennifer Grey. His first major dramatic success came with the television miniseries North and South, set during the American Civil War. The following year, he and Rob Lowe appeared together again in the film Youngblood. Over time, Patrick became a well-known face in Hollywood, but his greatest successes were still ahead. Patrick and Jennifer Grey starred in this romantic drama and dance movie, which was released in the late 1980s. At the time, it was a small-budget American film written by Eleanor Bergstein, produced by Linda Gottlieb, and directed by Emile Ardolino. The story followed a young woman named Frances "Baby" Houseman who falls in love with a dance instructor named Johnny Castle at a vacation resort. Patrick played the male lead. His training and experience as a professional dancer were a big reason he was chosen for the role. Director Emile Ardolino wanted actors who could both dance and act so that there would be no need for stand-ins, which were often used in dance films at the time. Patrick, who was in his mid-30s, was already an experienced performer. He had appeared in the movie Grandview, USA in the mid-1980s and had previously worked with Jennifer in the film Red Dawn. The filmmakers knew they were lucky to have him join the project. When Patrick read the script, he immediately connected with the character of Johnny Castle and wanted to bring him to life on screen. Surprisingly, the smooth and professional partnership the filmmakers expected between Patrick and Jennifer was not real at first. She was not happy when Patrick was chosen for the lead role. Few people knew that they had struggled to work together during their earlier movie. However, everything changed during their dance screen test. Their connection and energy on the dance floor were so strong that writer Eleanor Bergstein described it as breathtaking. The movie became a landmark in Patrick's career and in Hollywood history. His powerful performance earned him a nomination for a Golden Globe Award. Dirty Dancing became the first movie to sell over 1 million home video copies and earned hundreds of millions of dollars around the world. The story was later recreated in many forms, including television series, live stage productions, and even computer games. Along with acting and dancing, Patrick also helped write and sing a song called "She's Like the Wind" for the movie soundtrack. He said his wife Lisa inspired the song. The song became a popular hit, reaching the top 10 on music charts, and many other artists later recorded their own versions. After Dirty Dancing, Patrick became highly sought after and appeared in many films from the late 1980s through the 1990s. Patrick starred in the action film Roadhouse alongside Sam Elliott, Ben Gazzara, and Kelly Lynch. After that, he acted with Demi Moore and Whoopi Goldberg in the movie Ghost, which earned him high praise. In Ghost, he played Sam Wheat, a man who is killed but communicates with his fiancée through a psychic. His performance showed that he could handle deep emotional roles, proving he was a versatile actor who could bring complex characters to life. This was considered his first major leading role. Ghost was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Picture, and Patrick received another Golden Globe nomination for his acting. The movie became the highest-earning film of 1990 and for a time was the fourth highest-earning movie in history. Patrick faced another heartbreak at home when his wife had a miscarriage. The loss was so difficult that they decided not to try for children again. Instead, they devoted their time to caring for their ranch, which was filled with dogs, horses, and cattle. Patrick once said about their decision, "We are a team," and they truly were. That same year, he took on other projects, such as hosting an episode of Saturday Night Live with singer Mariah Carey as the musical guest in late October. The following year, he starred with Keanu Reeves in the action and crime film Point Break. This role earned him a nomination for the Most Desirable Man Award at the MTV Movie Awards, and People magazine named him the sexiest man alive in that same year. Patrick continued to find success, appearing in films like City of Joy, Fatherhood, and 3 Wishes. In the middle of this success, tragedy was hiding. In the mid-90s, the Swayze family suffered another heartbreaking loss when Patrick's oldest sister, Vicky Lynn, died. She had long battled depression and tragically took her life by overdosing on pills in late 1994. Her death left Patrick deeply shaken. He later admitted, "Her death changed my life." He said he felt guilty and wondered if he could have done something to help her. This question left him broken, and the fame and success were not enough to put him back together. Patrick's life became marked by personal battles with that old enemy, alcohol. And it was only stronger, made worse by that feeling of helplessness he felt following his sister's suicide. Thankfully, Patrick had always had that quiet strength, and despite the fact that his journey was filled with challenges and terrible heartbreak, he kept fighting. He eventually entered rehabilitation during the 1990s. And after getting sober, he stepped back from acting and dedicated himself to life on his ranches in California and New Mexico, where he bred Arabian horses and found peace in a quieter life. No one could question his need for some time away from the spotlight, and Patrick took the time to work on himself. After his break from show business, Patrick would make an incredible return in 1995. He starred as a drag queen in the film To Wong Foo, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar alongside Wesley Snipes and John Leguizamo. His performance earned him a Golden Globe nomination and brought new attention to his acting talent. A couple of years later, while filming the movie Letters from a Killer, Patrick had a serious accident during an escape scene. He fell off a horse and slammed into a tree, breaking both of his legs and injuring his shoulder. He had to be flown by helicopter from the filming location to the University of California at Davis Medical Center about 50 miles away. Reports said he was in a lot of pain, but he still managed to make a few jokes. The accident forced the production to pause for a long time because Patrick was stuck in bed. The movie was finished and released the following year, although Patrick was still uncomfortable and healing slowly. By the year 2000, he was acting again, appearing in the film Forever Lulu. The following year, he worked on the movies Donnie Darko and Green Dragon. Outside of movies, Patrick also made headlines in 2000 for something unrelated to acting. Both he and his wife were licensed pilots. In June of that year, Patrick decided to fly his twin-engine Cessna with his dogs from Van Nuys, California to Las Vegas, New Mexico. But during the trip, the plane had a pressurization problem. This forced him to make an emergency landing on a dirt road in a housing development in Prescott Valley, Arizona. The landing did not go perfectly as the plane's right wing hit a light pole. Thankfully, Patrick was not hurt. However, trouble began when police arrived. Witnesses claimed Patrick was very drunk and even asked for help hiding an open bottle of wine and a large pack of beer from the crash site. Patrick was missing from the scene for several hours after the crash. Later, witness reports turned out to be false. The alcohol they claimed Patrick had with him was not inside the cabin at all. Instead, it was stored in an outside compartment that could not be reached during the flight. The police report said the likely cause of the accident was Patrick's physical impairment from several factors, including breathing in carbon monoxide from the plane's engine exhaust, carbon monoxide from heavy smoking, and losing some of the plane's cabin pressurization. Together, these caused hypoxia, which means a shortage of oxygen in the body. By 2002, Patrick returned to acting. He devoted his time to working in many films and television shows, including Waking Up in Reno, One Last Dance, Dirty Dancing, Havana Nights, King Solomon's Mines, The Beast, and many others. Patrick's career came to a sudden stop at 57 years old when in March 2008, he was told he had cancer. His wife, Lisa Nemi, shared how it began. Patrick asked her one day, "Do my eyes look yellow?" He had been having stomach problems and pain that would not go away, but it was the yellow color in his eyes that worried them most. Patrick suggested they go to the doctor the following week, but Lisa insisted they go the very next day. When the doctor saw him, he immediately sent them for a scan. They waited a full day for the results from Stanford University Medical Center. That was when the doctor gently asked, "Have you ever heard of pancreatic cancer?" Lisa admitted she did not know much about it, but Patrick did. He had a special procedure to confirm the diagnosis. Lisa already knew the news, but did not tell him while he was recovering from the procedure. Later, when the doctor spoke with him directly, Patrick looked at her and said, "I'm a dead man." Although many doctors gave them little hope, Patrick and Lisa decided to fight. Lisa later wrote in her memoir that they called themselves realistic optimists. They believed miracles were possible and they would fight for as long as his body could manage. In July, Patrick told the public about his illness and spoke with hope. He said his treatments were working, that he was drinking fresh juice daily, and that he felt like a miracle. Lisa believed he would have preferred to keep it private, but he continued to work, even filming a full television series while having chemotherapy on weekends. His public announcement brought attention to pancreatic cancer, a disease that is hard to detect early, has one of the lowest survival rates, and is very difficult to treat. In September of 2008, Patrick made a surprise appearance on the Stand Up to Cancer broadcast. He encouraged people to donate to cancer research and gave a heartfelt speech saying he dreamed of a day when the word cure would not be followed by the words, "It's impossible." His voice and advocacy helped raise awareness about the disease. Patrick continued to work until January 9, 2009. At this stage, Patrick became ill with pneumonia and had to stay in the hospital. The doctors explained that the pneumonia was a side effect of the chemotherapy treatments he had gone through. A few months later, they discovered that the cancer, which they had treated before, had spread to his liver. Many people believed that Patrick's long history of smoking had played a big part in his health getting worse. Patrick himself admitted, "I will go so far as to say probably smoking has something to do with my pancreatic cancer." Even though he often looked healthy and fit, he had been a heavy smoker for about 4 decades, smoking around 60 cigarettes every day. Experts say that about 1/3 of all pancreatic cancer cases are connected to smoking. After a while, it became clear that Patrick was losing his fight against the cancer that had taken over his body. When Patrick learned that his illness had reached its final stage, he began to slowly step away from the public. He chose not to hold a farewell event, not to make a press announcement, and not to shape his image as a heroic cancer fighter. During a walk with his family on the New Mexico ranch, Patrick looked into the distance with hopeful but sad eyes and said, "I want to live." It was as if the man were making his case to the keeper of souls for more time. But it wasn't meant to be. His wife, Lisa Nemi, shared in her book, Worth Fighting For, about his final days. She wrote, "My last words to Patrick were, 'I love you.' And those were his last words to me. After I brought him home, things moved quickly. I treasured our time alone, holding his hand, listening to music, sleeping with my arm around him and my head on his shoulder, saying nothing at all. On a quiet Monday morning in mid-September, I looked at his face and listened to the soft, tiny breaths he was taking. There was something delicate and childlike about it. I knew it was time." Patrick died in mid-September of the year 2009. His body was cremated and his ashes were scattered over his ranch in New Mexico. He was 57 years old, had no children, and had spent 34 happy years with Lisa. Lisa said Patrick's final words were, "I love you," before he slipped into a deep coma and passed away 3 days later. This moment didn't need to be put on film, only treasured by memories and honored in silence. The noise truly fades away, leaving those beautiful words forever here. The man who had lived hundreds of lives on screen, whose reality was lived in some measure of comfort, yet suffered the worst pain a person could experience in losing his loved ones, and still had his health challenged to the point of losing it, chose not to be defined by any of that. Instead, he chose to leave a message of love to the world. This is how Patrick Swayze left that unforgettable mark that time could never erase. Music.